Do you want to know how I fixed all the duplicator plugin errors within WordPress? Now I'm going to teach you a series of simple, no-nonsense steps to correct any error that may be appearing on your WordPress website. I'm going to show you some steps that will guide you through the entire correction process without you having to waste your time looking for other solutions. Everything in a more didactic and complete way, without the need for any advanced knowledge. Here's a very important step that you cannot neglect. Use good website hosting. 90% of the problems we encounter on WordPress sites are always related to the hosting company. In some cases, the PHP version is out of date. In other cases, PHP does not have an extension allowed or features are missing. Therefore, we recommend Hostinger servers so that you can use PHP in your hosting company, regardless of which country in the world you are in. They have multi-language support, and they serve the entire world. They have a specific plan for WordPress with management, and it is one of the best plans for WordPress. We tested several sites within these plans. From the initial plan, you can host from 100 websites, and they are compatible with absolutely everyone. All the plugins we have tested to date, we have not found any plugin that does not work within the Hostinger environment. They also have a system within the panel to check viruses within WordPress installations, make updates within the panel, and check plugin compatibility, which will help you resolve most problems. There's a link in the description, and if you're purchasing an annual plan or longer, use our link to support our channel. One very important thing, as Rotchinger has a money-back policy if you don't like the product, you can simply do the following. By hosting from Rotchinger, install a WordPress site. Install all the themes and plugins you have on your current website. Check if it will work. If it works, you know the problem is with your website hosting and it's time for you to migrate. All you have to do is bring your website to Hostinger. Even Hostinger does the migration for you free of charge. All you have to do is join one of their plans. I recommend Cloud Startup for sites that need more performance, and call the support team, and they will help you with the migration process. Before making any changes, you must back up your environment. It is very important to have a backup of your website. Even if it has a problem, make a backup of the website to its current state. You can ask your hosting company's support team, or you can hire Hostinger, link in the description, and you can have their automatic backup. Backing up on the Hostinger panel is very simple to do. I'm going to teach here, and almost every hosting company is the same. Within your hosting company's dashboard, you go to Files, and you will have the Backups option. Coming here to the Backups option, I can click on Create New Backup. I come to Select. It warns me that it will overwrite the previous backup. Continue, and it starts creating my backup. I have to wait until this backup is complete, so I can start making the changes that will fix the problems with the plugins and themes within my website. Okay, backup completed. Now you can go to your website, make the necessary changes. If you have a problem, it's very simple to restore the backup. You can come here to restore the website. Select the date of the backup you made. Click on Restore, and it carries out the entire process. This said hosting. If you are using another hosting company, just contact technical support, and they will help you resolve the issue and perform a restoration if necessary. This is the first step to solving problems. In fact, if you have a problem and don't have any new information on the site, you can try restoring old backups to see if it fixes the problem you're getting. Deactivating WordPress plugins is also a step that usually solves some problems. It may be that what you have within your environment is a compatibility problem and not a specific problem with the plugin. WordPress is a huge ecosystem, and sometimes some developers develop plugins that conflict with other plugins. The best way to find out if the plugin you want to use conflicts with any other plugin by coming to the WordPress dashboard and deactivating the plugins. Clicking on Deactivate the plugin is simply deactivated. However, this has a small problem. In some cases, you will not be able to open the WordPress dashboard. If your case is a case where WordPress doesn't even open the panel, I'll teach you how to deactivate the plugin in another way. Open your hosting company's panel. Go to Files and File Manager or File Manager. Click on your File Manager, and when you open it, you will have access the HTML public folder. Access the HTML public folder. On some servers, this folder may be named www. Go to WP Contents, the Plugins folder, enter it. And inside the Plugins folder, you will see that you will have folders with the names of the plugins you are using. For example, here I have a plugin called Full Wide Page Templates. What I'm going to do is deactivate this plugin, but not here. If my WordPress wasn't opening, I could just rename by clicking with the right button, going to rename, and I change the name of the folder. I will just add an underline at the end and click on rename. Change the name of the folder, and when I come to WordPress and update, I will see that the plugin has been deactivated. So if this plugin was causing a problem in my WordPress installation, I would have deactivated it, and my WordPress would be working again, thus letting me know that this plugin is a problem. If this plugin has been deactivated, as I did now, and even though WordPress didn't work again, I must continue deactivating the other plugins, renaming the folder, or deactivating them through the panel until WordPress works again. The moment WordPress starts working again, I will know which plugin caused the problem. So I'm going to go back to the folder here and return the plugin folder name to the original. Bring the name of the plugin folder back to the original, removing the underline so that the name of the plugin folder remains as it should be. I update my plugins page, and now I can activate the plugin again. All the others, except the plugin that created the error within my site. This way I will know which of the plugins I have within my environment that generated an error in WordPress. A very simple step that can solve many problems is to disable the CDN network if you use it on your WordPress. Some plugins and themes may have problems with the content that is available via CDN. Networks such as Cloudflare, CDN Max, among others, can be temporarily or permanently disabled to resolve issues with your WordPress site. So in our example, I'm going to go to Cloudflare and disable the CDN network. I'll click Edit on my DNS entry and disable the proxy. By clicking Save, I disable the CDN service, and in about 30 to 40 minutes, I can try again to access my website. In some cases, simply clearing the cache solves problems within WordPress. So what are we going to do? By clicking here next to the Refresh button, we go to Site Settings. Go to Delete Data, delete the data, reset the permissions, and reload the page. But instead of clicking the reload button, I'm going to press it on the keyboard, Control and the F5 key, so that I can do a reload without cache. Once this is done, the page will be reloaded without using the cache, and if I have any problems caused by the cache, it will be resolved. One way to fix problems is also by changing the permissions of the folders where your plugin was installed. In many cases, a person unzips a zip file directly into the WordPress folder where the plugin is located, and this changes the permissions and folder owner, causing critical errors within WordPress. Let's go back to our hosting company's dashboard. I came to Files, File Manager, access our File Manager, our File Manager, go to Public HTML, access WP Content, Go to the Plugins folder, and here we find all the plugins installed within WordPress. Note that they have specific folder permissions. This is the folder permission pattern within the web. If your directory is not with these permissions, you can right-click, you can come to Permissions, and change the permissions. Note that the permission is 755. If I check any box, I change the permissions. The default is 755. Check the recursive directories and files option and click Update. Important: if you want to keep the original state of the folder, before making the change, you can right-click, come to Archive, select the file format, and it will create a backup for you with the original state. Here the permission is different, but within this zip file, the permissions remain the same as they are on your screen. Changing the PHP version can be one of the important steps in fixing a problem on your WordPress website. Regardless of whether the problem is with a theme or a plugin, the PHP version must be compatible with it. Let's go. Accessing the dashboard of my hosting system, I can go to Advanced, the PHP configuration, and choose the version of PHP I want to use. Each hosting company has a different panel, but they all have the option to change PHP versions. Currently, PHP 7.4 is the most compatible with all WordPress themes and plugins. PHP 8.0 performs well within WordPress, but it still has some incompatibilities with some themes and plugins that the developers haven't updated yet. So, we recommend that you switch to PHP version 7.4. Click Update so that it applies the change. Wait about 3 minutes and try again to access your website, remembering to clear the cache every time you make a change. Now let's move on to the solution, where we will change htaccess. In many cases, restoring htaccess to the WordPress default resolves most issues. However, it is important to pay attention to the following. If you use a caching plugin within WordPress, you must deactivate the plugin first. If your WordPress isn't even loading, then yes, you can change htaccess first and later disable the cache plugin. Most caching plugins change the WordPress htaccess file. Let's go. I'm going to open my hosting panel again. I'm going to come to the File Manager. Go to the File Manager and look for the current htaccess of my website in public.html. I will look for the htaccess file. It is here. The first thing I should do is create a copy of it. So I go to Copy File, select the current folder I'm in, copy, and it will create another htaccess for me outside of public.html. Another method for you to make a backup is also to simply right-click and turn htaccess into a zip file, for example, and then you will have your zip in case you need to restore. Okay, let's open htaccess. Notice that my htaccess is completely changed. These changes are due to my Lightspeed cache plugin. It makes changes, but the original WordPress htaccess doesn't look like this. In the official WordPress documentation, we can see the original appearance of htaccess. In an error situation, you can copy the content, paste the new content inside htaccess, and save the file. This will help you test whether your website will work again or not. If the site does not work again, restore the file as it was, and the file does not work again. Let's go to the next step. Time is money. If you need a team to solve problems with your applications, your infrastructure, and your web application, contact us. The link in the description has our calendar open to the public with hours and days that you can select. Check out and receive our exclusive service from a bunch of technology mad people for a client who needs it. Your time is worth a lot to us. If you don't want to, that's okay. Just watch the video until the end, and I'm sure you'll be able to solve your problem. If you want to make money solving WordPress problems, there's a link in the description that will take you to the best training there is. I want you to think about the following. What do you think is most likely? That someone pays you $1,000 for a website that they don't even know if they need? Or that someone who already has a website working and has a problem pays you $1,000 to solve it? Solve problems with tools that already exist. It is a huge and little explored market. You have the opportunity to work on the urgency, the need of businesses that are already active. Click on the link in the description, and I'm sure you'll like it. Well, guys, if none of the other steps in this video manage to solve your problem, I'm going to teach you now how to contact Duplicator support. Let's go. I'm already here on Duplicator's WordPress.org page. I'll leave this link here for you in the description. Not in the description, in the first pinned comment. Actually, you can take this link here and access exactly this page where I am. Entering here, you will enter your account. You will click here on support. So after clicking on support, I have to give you go to create a topic, which is nothing more than creating a support ticket. Okay. Here we will add the title of our ticket. We will add the link to your website. Now comes our special tip from this video. We will leave this part here, this copy ready here, so you can also get it in the first comment fixed. This will give you everything you need to put into the message to make your life easier and the life of the developer who will help you with the support you will get. Following all this information that I have already left ready for you, just fill in here and better understand what your problem is and help you resolve it as quickly as possible. The first thing I'm going to tell you to include here is your hosting company, which in our case is hosting. Enter your PHP version, enter your WordPress version, and the version of their plugin you are using. Okay. Finally here, we have a few more very important things that many people don't include when they send messages to support, which is all plugins are active within your website that even if they don't have any type of connection between them, they can end up causing some type of error. The cache plugin. If you have any type of cache plugin within your website, I recommend that you place it separately and make it clear whether it is active or not while you are receiving this error. WP debug. I taught you to activate WP debug a few steps ago within this video. And if you have received any type of message, I also strongly recommend that you place it within this message here that we will send to support. Okay. And now, to finish, let's put 2 quick texts here explaining what you were trying to do inside their plugin, inside your website with their plugin, and what it's actually supposed to do, and how it's actually working for you, and what it is. The error that is being returned. That's all you need to do. This will make life a lot easier for the programmer who will help you, and it will certainly make the process much faster. Also add some tags here to make it easier to understand. What is this topic that we are writing about and sending to them? Great. And now here at the very end, we have 3 boxes that can be checked, which basically refer to the content you wrote here, these first 2. I don't think you will need. It's worth giving it a read if it really makes sense with what you wrote in the message. You may end up marking them. But in the vast majority of cases, you won't need to mark any of these first 2. I recommend that you check the last one so that you can be notified by email when the ticket is answered. Now, a final little addendum. Always write these messages in English to facilitate and speed up the process of them responding to your message, because English is certainly the language they use, as it is the most used language on the web.